Collective. Let's get into a reading. We're going to do a you versus them. I'm going to see what's going on. You versus them. Let's get an overall for this relationship. If you guys need anything, you can find it down below. Patreon and channel members get to see these first, always. Thank you guys for liking, commenting, and subscribing. Let's see what's coming in. Okay, so someone could be focusing on themselves right now. Okay, so this is going to be the kind of relationship where you guys have had some sort of cycle, or you have dabbled, spoke to, entertained. There's some sort of second chance here, okay? Now, warning on the bottom, this person could have been unavailable in the past. That could have been your warning. Your intuition could have told you, hey, something isn't what you think it is. This person isn't emotionally available. This person doesn't want the same things as you. Whatever that looks like, some of you, there was major red flags, but let's be honest, you could have been a Six Flag pass holder. You could have been like, it's fine, I don't mind a few red flags. I'm definitely seeing that this relationship was very intense, but I'm saying that before you decide to focus on this person or take any sense of action towards them, accept them back, anything like that, that you need to clear your energy and decide whether or not this relationship deserves a second chance. If you see this person as your forever. So I see communication coming in, or action, okay? I see communication or action. So how do you view this connection? You see it as something where truth hasn't been spoken. You see this person as someone who's emotionally unavailable, possibly emotionally manipulative. As I just said that, Seven of Swords. So you see this person as a liar, a cheater, a thief, or you see him as someone who sneaks away. What does that make me think of? Anytime I think about someone sneaking away, I think about those people who make plans, dip out, never show up. They text you, and then they ghost. All of a sudden, you went from talking to them all the time to them being like crickets, and you're like, well, maybe they changed their phone number. There's an energy here of like them being like a fox. 9 times out of 10, you don't know when there's a fox around you unless they're doing their nightly call where they're calling to the rest of the clan, the pack. You don't even know that there's a fox around you. And I know that because we have foxes that live in our yard. We have a den. And they will come out of nowhere like a cat, and they will watch you, they will study you, but they will also move based off of your choices and your actions. So they're very kind of strategic, calculated. And I would even say that you would not turn your back on a fox unless you really trust it, because I mean, let's say I take Ella outside, it's going to see her as a snack. And as soon as I turn my back or put her down, guess what? She's gone. That could be how you once felt or viewed this person. You view this connection where it's like, yeah, Danielle, I just don't know. I never fully got clarity on that. I don't know what happened. I don't know what took place. I don't know why this person did A, B, C, or D. I just know that when someone shows you who they are, believe them. That's how you feel. So how does this person view this connection? I'm just going to take the first one off the top. Okay, so they could view this connection as something that they were defensive towards. They view this connection where there's either competition, differences. This person could view this connection where, this is interesting. You could have put them in competition. They could have put you in competition. They could view this connection where both of you were trying to have control. That could be for some of you. Maybe you guys didn't know how to work well with one another, or how to get to a place of being able to communicate what you both wanted and what you both needed. So it could have come off as like differences, being kind of competitive when you're not trying to be competitive. You're just trying to fix the issue. That's what I'm feeling. Some of you could have just wanted to fix the issue, fix the relationship, but this person could have seen it as controlling. So what does that make me think of? I mean, I have a kid, so if I tell her to do something, 9 times out of 10, she doesn't do it how I want her to. And I've learned the hard way that I can get mad at her for that, or I can just tell her, hey, listen, this is what you need to do, and she's going to have to figure it out herself. You two, though, could have been along the energy of, all we have to do is this. Why will you not help me fix it? All we have to do is be better at communicating with one another. Why will you not get on the train? I literally have your ticket. There could have been a battle for control when neither one of you could control the relationship and you couldn't control one another. I just heard a saying that said, they couldn't control you and you couldn't change them. That was the problem here. That could be for some of you. They couldn't control you and you couldn't change them. They maybe wanted to control you, put you in a box, have you act a certain way, and you'll never do that. But you could have also wanted to change them. I want to change their mind, change their behavior, change how they're showing up. And you can't do that either. You have to take someone at face value. You have to take them for who they are and be willing to go through the seasons of life with them, whether that is them growing, being immature, being impulsive. Okay, how do they feel for you? They have a lot of good energy around you. They see you as someone where they have good memories, but they also see you as someone where things didn't pay off. This didn't flourish in the way that maybe you both wanted it. How do you feel for them? You feel like you don't see everything clearly. You feel like this is an opportunity that's blocked. You feel, my hands are tied, there's nothing I can do. That's how you feel. I want to collaborate. I want to be a team player. But Danielle, I can't make them show up. I can't make them want to give to this. That could be for some of you. Okay, so how do they view you? They could view you as someone who's financially stable or someone who's got a really good career. They could view you as someone that they want to marry. They could view you as someone who is healed, balanced. They view you as someone who's emotionally available, giving, loving, mature. How do you view them? You view them as an indulger. You view them as the kind of person who's in it for a good time, not a long time. You view them as the kind of person who maybe wants the good times but doesn't want to figure it out through the hard times. You view them as someone who maybe makes promises they can't keep. So you're kind of along the energy of, unless they come in and show me something different, Danielle, that's who they are. Unless something changes, that's what this is. That's how you're feeling. They have a little more hope, is what I'm saying. What do they like about you? They like how much fun they have with you. They like how you were able to soothe some sense of worry or fear when things could have been hitting the fan. So there could be something here where they really like being around you. They feel a lot of celebratory energy. So what do I think about when I think about a celebration? When I was younger, my favorite holidays were Christmas, Thanksgiving, birthdays, because I knew, I get to go to my cousin's house. You know what that means? And I grew up with a lot of cousins. I grew up with, I think there was like 7 of us all together. I grew up in big clans. We were very, very, very close, which isn't always a good thing, but that's how we grew up. We were like our own little cult in our family. And I knew that when there was a celebration or when there was a holiday, that meant that I got to go be with my friends. I got to go be with my built-in besties. Fun fact, me and one of my cousins actually share a birthday. She is also a Pisces. I loved that. And when everything was stressful, when my parents were getting divorced, when my parents were fighting, when life was hell in another state, but I'd have to go to a different state to go visit family, I would go and be stressed out and be overwhelmed. But those moments of celebration and fun and happiness would make me forget that life wasn't that great, that life wasn't that fun. That's what I'm feeling with you. This person could view you or really like that about you. You lift them up when they feel so dark, so down in the slumps. When life is like raining on them, pouring on them, when life is hell, you have the ability to make them laugh. You have the ability to let them see that the reality they're in that moment doesn't have to be a forever and doesn't have to be a permanent state. And that's something that they really, really love about you. It could also be something that was shocking as hell. Maybe they never expected that. What do you like about them? You see them as someone who's loyal, who's consistent. You see them as someone who's a maker of their life, which could be the reason why you're along the lines of, but it's blocked. Because you see them as someone who's really strong. You see them as someone who is successful. You recognize them as everything you once wanted, you once deserved, you wanted. You see them through good eyes, but their behavior is making you see them through eyes where you're like, no, Danielle, they show up for everybody else. They're successful. I recognize them as the maker of their life. If they want something, they'll go after it. So you know what that means, Danielle? That means that they don't want me. That means that they don't like me. That's how you're feeling. Because in your mind, they wouldn't let something go that they didn't want. So if they're letting you go, if they're ignoring you, if they're sneaking away, if they're staying unavailable, if they're not speaking truth, if they're not taking action, it's simply because they don't want to. It's not because they're not capable. It's not because they're not strong enough. You know that they're strong enough. You're like, no, I know that this person has those qualities. They just don't have those qualities for me, which makes me feel that this is blocked. There's nothing I can do because I can't make someone show up for me. I can't make someone see that, oh, they should be there for me. And they're a good time, not a long time, because they don't want to be that version. That could be where you're at. So it's so interesting because they could be along the energies of, but you make me so happy. You're so amazing. You make me really see that life can be better. Life can be great. And you're along the energy of, and that's awesome, that's right, that's grand, but this is blocked, this ain't going nowhere. You have all these good things to say, but there's no action. That could be how you're feeling. So why is there going to be a second chance? What's about to take place? Someone's about to take a leap or a risk towards you and try to move this forward. I see you being practical and logical, and I see you holding things close to your chest. So you might be a little unsure if you want to give this person a second chance. They're going to come in and tell you some sort of truth. They're unsure what to say, how to say it, what's going to happen. If this person wants to build something with you, but they're unsure if you want the same. Do you know what I've noticed? You have them showing up as an emperor, as the maker of their life. They're large and in charge. They're the kind of person where they wouldn't do something if they didn't want to do it. So if they're doing it, it's because they want to. People can't talk them into doing things. They're not easily manipulated. That's how you view them. But you do view them as someone who's not emotionally available. You do view them as someone who can't give you what you deserve. But you also view them as someone who could be a good partner, a good spouse if they wanted to be. They just don't want to be that for you. That's how you view them. They view you as someone who is strong, determined, you're emotionally available, and you have the ability to say exactly what you're feeling, what you're thinking without thinking twice about it and without regretting. But when they approach you, they're going to be in a king's energy and you're going to be in an empress energy. So I definitely feel like you might kind of hold them on a little bit of a pedestal when it comes to like qualities. Instead of seeing them in human form, you see them as like some sort of superhero. You see them as this bomb-ass guy, this bomb-ass woman. And I'm not saying they ain't. I'm just saying that if you decide to give this person a second chance, them being human might be a slap in the face to you, because again, you see them as someone who conquers, handles, does the damn thing. And I feel like they do. However, when they come to you, they're going to be in a king energy. So that means that there's going to be lessons they're going to have to learn where you might be under the impression that they've done learned it. Okay? So when someone becomes an empress or an emperor, that tells me that they've been through life. They know what it feels like to be cheated on. They might even know what it feels like to cheat. Sometimes you got to go through the bottom of the barrel. You have to do some shitty things or get things done to you that's shitty for you to understand how it feels, for you to understand what's right, what's wrong, for you to understand what makes you a good person. What do you think makes you a good person? What do you think you're going to be ashamed of when you die? this person's still going to have to go through some of that. They might make really bad choices and you be like, how the hell did you make that choice? I don't understand it. How did you not know any better? You might have went through that lesson already. They haven't. So if you decide to give them a second chance, just be conscious that you could think that this person is just so magnificent and amazing and a perfect husband, a perfect wife. They could be all these great things, perfect for you. And I'm not saying that they ain't. What I'm saying is that if you put someone on this pedestal, they're perfect, they're perfect, they're perfect. Oh my God, I couldn't find a better man than him. I couldn't find a better woman than her. The first time their humanness comes out, it might feel like a slap in the face, and for you to go, whoa, wait a second, I really put you on a pedestal and you're human just like the rest of us. You brush your teeth just like the rest of us. You put your shoes on just like the rest of us. And they might go through lessons where you feel like they should know better, where you feel like there's no way you didn't know that. There's no way that you didn't realize you weren't taking people into consideration or you were being selfish. But again, how you view them and who they are might be a little different. It ain't good, it ain't bad, it doesn't matter. I'm just letting you know. Now, I am saying that they're going to take a leap on you and tell you that they want to grow something with you, okay? I see that you might change your perspective over some sense of time, maybe 4 months is what I want to say. So this person might court you, date you, talk to you, show up for you for 4 months before you go, okay, I'm changing my perspective. I think I can maybe count on you. I think I can see me maybe giving to you because you're showing up in a very stable and consistent way. You're making me feel valued. You're making me see that, yes, something can be grown here. You're being honest. You're being truthful. You're really bringing changes. Where this relationship has had problems, we're both trying to purify, not just one of us. So I really do think that it could work out if you want it. You're just going to have to listen to your intuition around some sort of ending and this person possibly feeling left out and desiring to have a new beginning. So again, this could be someone where there's an ending here and they could miss you, or there could be some sort of desire for you, but your intuition could be telling you that you guys are going to have to work through whatever took place first, okay? So again, if you dealt with someone who's emotionally unavailable, or maybe they made advancements at you before they should have, there is something this person done where you're going to have a conversation about it. You're going to have to bring all the swords out and go, okay, I know earlier when you were mad, you were throwing knives at the door, but now you got to go take the knives out of the door and we have to discuss why you think that this is okay. And again, in that moment, you might see that this person is just as human as you. The only difference is that both of you see each other in really good light. Both of you see each other as the quality person that you are, the quality person you're becoming. But you also both see that you are human and that you're going to choose one another day in and day out to be human with one another. It isn't, oh, that's the perfect person, that's why I chose them, and when they're not perfect anymore, we're done. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that you need more of like confirmation of what this person's feeling, what this person's thinking, because you're kind of along the lines of, there's a blockage, my hands are tied, it ain't my choice to make, it ain't my move, Danielle, okay? And this person knows that. So I see them wanting to have a conversation with you, wanting to change your mind. And I see you kind of standing firm in, you can change my mind, but it ain't going to be today. It ain't going to take 4 hours or 4 days. You're going to give it a little bit of work. It could take about 4 months before you start really going, okay, yeah. And I'm saying that this person's going to have a lot of strength and courage to communicate with you their regrets, their disappointments, where they feel they went wrong. If you're emotionally unavailable, it'll have you showing up in a way that you're not even transparent or aware of. Let me use that word. You're not aware of until someone maybe brings it to your attention or you're really far removed. Some of you, that could be what happened here, is you seeing this person as who they could become, not who they were. When you met them, they were unavailable. They were maybe emotionally rigid, emotionally defeated, emotionally turned off. maybe even emotionally manipulative, but you've seen them as who they could become. But you could have had to wait a long time for them to become that person. And now you guys have to have the strength and the courage to be able to fix it, because they have to prove to you that they've become that person. But you also have to change your perspective and listen to your intuition. And your intuition's telling you, listen, this wouldn't be coming back around if this person really didn't miss you or want to be around you. You then have to decipher, are they different? 9 times out of 10, people don't just come back to play games with you. It's because they like you. There's something about you that they don't want to let go of. But maybe they can't be the version of themselves they need to be a part of your life. That's where you have to decide, okay, this person is showing up and they do the same thing. What does that mean? That means that maybe they've changed a little bit, but they've not changed enough for me to allow them or invite them into my life freely. And that's okay. That means I need to set a boundary and say, no, this isn't enough, and you're going to have to push it up, or you're going to have to get it out. I see for a lot of you, though, this person is going to really show up in a way. I feel like they're angry. And I feel like that anger is going to fuel them to fix something, to try to get you to change your mind, change your perspective. And it's like, listen, I've known you could be this person all along. I've seen this. I've seen this success. I've seen this victory. I've recognized you for this person. I've just needed you to catch the hell up and get there. I just needed you to take the action to get there. How does this person feel for you? They feel like they want to build some sort of union or foundation. For some of you, this could be someone who's dated other people and they're recognizing that nobody can compare to you. You can't compete when you can't compare. And that could be the reason they want to come back, is because they see you as some sort of fulfilling home life union. And they've been trying to replace you. And guess what? They can't replace you. They can't replace you. I mean, here's the thing. If you've ever been in a relationship, if you've ever been married, if you've ever had a relationship with someone and maybe had kids or shared a home with them, you will know that there is a bond that you will share with that person that you will not share with no one else. If you decide to marry someone else, that bond's going to be different. Your first love, your second husband or wife, those bonds are so different from one another. So if you're going around trying to find that bond in someone else, you're going to fail, because nobody's going to be able to show up in the way that you do. Okay? Maybe you put your foot up their butt when you needed to. Maybe you put fire under their ass when you needed to. Maybe you were compassionate when you needed to be. And they've been trying to find that in someone else, and they can't find that in someone else because someone else doesn't have the qualities in the way that you do. And that could be something that they're recognizing, is that they've found what they wanted, and it was with you. And that's the reason why they've been kind of searching for something, and they can't find it. Why? Because they done bought it. It's at home, okay? It's a collectible. It's a one and done. It was in the stores for 3 weeks. Guess what? It ain't in the stores no more. They need to go home to the storage unit and get it out. That's what's happening here, okay? So I definitely see that something is going to be healed. I think it's going to be kind of a slow journey of you being able to trust this person, you seeing who they are, not who they claim to be. And yeah, there's definitely something here of the ball's in your court. The ball's in your court. If you want to fix it, fix it. If you want it to crumble, let it crumble. Yeah, I see this as someone you placed a boundary with, for sure. Someone who's wearing a mask because they're not showing their true feelings, or they could have the tendency to pretend. What do they want with you? This could also be someone who's pretending that they were in a happy relationship when they were actually in a toxic relationship. Don't you love those people? That's my favorite. When someone wants to call you and tell you how happy they are and how everything's just so great, and you're like, listen, who are you trying to persuade, me or you? Didn't ask, don't know why you telling me everything's so great. Probably because you trying to convince yourself. That's the energy I'm getting here. For some of you, this could have been someone who wanted you to think, whether it was them putting it all over social media, them telling you straight to your face that everything was fine. Again, that's you viewing them as the emperor. If someone tells me everything's fine, I'm gonna believe them at face value, because I don't care if they're lying to me. I don't care if they're lying to themselves. I don't care if they're in Deluluville. Party of one, don't care. That's your energy, okay? So that could be for some of you. Have faith. Something is coming. This person is hesitating because they want to send you some sort of surprise invitation, or they want to meet up because they feel like you are the one. They feel like they want to open their heart to you and get together and finally welcome this in. This person could have the tendency to be a little self-absorbed. This person could also have the tendency to give to one-sided relationships, and that could be something that they're going to have to fix. Now, with any issue as a couple, if you guys tackle it together, you can get through it together, but you have to be willing to do it as a partnership. So I do see that if this is someone who was self-absorbed, or someone who wanted you to love them, but they didn't want to be that vulnerable and love you back, this person is at a place where they're like, you know what, I'm willing to be a little uncomfortable so I can have what I want. And that means having to do the hard thing. That means having to show up in a way that maybe has been uncomfortable. That means opening my heart and finally allowing myself to see that I don't have to be perfect. That doesn't mean anything. For sure. Okay. Yeah, this person's got some sort of outdated thinking that's done. See, that's what I'm saying. There was some sort of outdated thinking. So this person's up-leveling. This person's growing. That's the reason this is coming back. This person is getting rid of outdated thinking that no longer served them and that was getting in the way of this relationship. So you have to decide, can I let the past go and allow this person to show me that they're a new person? Or am I always going to think about the past version of them and it coming back in and ruining what we're building? You have to decide what you're capable of. I'm going to leave this here. Have a blessed day.